Temple and Philadelphia police are working together to find the man involved in an assault and robbery of a Temple University professor. This is the surveillance video of the suspect leaving Anderson Hall. Hello, I'm Karina Cheung.
And I'm Stetson Miller. A T alert was sent out at 11:55 Tuesday morning notifying staff and students of the incident. 81-year-old intellectual heritage professor Gopal Veeraswamy was assaulted and robbed in his second-floor office. Updates, Nick Mann is live outside of Anderson Hall with the latest. Nick?
I'm here live outside Anderson Hall where a professor was assaulted and robbed inside this building Tuesday morning. Police are continuing their search for their new suspect, 45-year-old Daryl Moon, who allegedly made off with the professor's wallet.
Police report that the suspect punched the 81-year-old professor in the face before threatening him with a knife and demanding his wallet.
When I get to the classroom, people were talking about a professor that had been basically mugged and beaten up in his room.
The attack sparked concerns among students regarding campus safety.
I honestly thought it was pretty secure, but the fact that this happened inside of a building is pretty scary.
They're updating us right away when it happened, so I do feel somewhat safe, but it is surprising that it was inside for a faculty member.
Immediately following the incident, campus safety services increased their presence in and around Anderson Hall and are currently reassessing the building's security.
We will increase security in the area just to make sure that people are feeling comfortable.
Temple Police released surveillance footage on Wednesday depicting the suspect exiting Anderson Hall.
After sustaining head trauma and lacerations to the face, the professor was transported to Temple University Hospital. Police are continuing their investigation for looking for the suspect who, and if you have any information, please contact campus security at 215-204-1234. Reporting live from Anderson Hall, I'm Nick Mann.
Thank you, Nick. Temple University's healthcare system has been given a credit downgrade by Moody's Investors Service, leaving a threatening shadow on the university itself.
Isabel Garcia is standing by in the newsroom with more on the potential issue. Isabel, the main question is, should students be concerned?
Stetson and Karina, as of right now, students do not need to be worried about this directly affecting tuition specifically. However, there are more details that should be considered. Though the university maintained its current grade of an AA3 based on Moody's most recent report, the Investor Service changed its outlook from stable to negative.
The university is still doing well. All of our metrics look good. Enrollment is strong, you name it. But they took our outlook from stable to negative, which is a signal that that organization attached to you is pulling down just a little bit. And we're going to send a signal to the market that we're a little nervous about that.
Ken Kaiser is the interim chief financial officer of Temple University and explains how the school is impacted based on its affiliation with the Temple Health System.
Although we're separate credits and separate corporations, we are connected. And when the health system gets downgraded, it does pull on the university.
Professor of Economics Richard Bernstein explains the reason why costs of the healthcare system are so high.
It provides health care to a community that is basically low income and not served elsewhere. And it isn't able to attract all the elective surgery and elective services that might be more profitable.
Moody's suggests it may become the responsibility of the university to assist in the funding of the healthcare network. Temple University President Neil Theobald said in his inaugural address, it is the government's obligation, and he sends a message to the students.
We will not use your tuition dollars, too much of which you must borrow, to fund these initiatives. Funding indigent health care is the appropriate responsibility of our federal, state, and local governments.
Now, those initiatives President Theobald had referenced earlier have to do with efforts in K-12 education and indigent healthcare, as the university plans to maintain its historic role as a community leader. Karina, back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Isabel. Temple University has been building up the campus, but on the west side of Broad Street, they're tearing down. The row homes that formerly housed Temple Garden and the Gateway Appliance Store will be demolished because of structural issues. Isabel's bookstore, located between the two buildings, will continue to stand because it is not owned by the university. There are no current construction plans for the sites. The university hopes to use the locations to create more green space for students and community members.
If you're a Temple student riding the subway, don't expect to use your OWL card when SEPTA updates its fare collection system. SEPTA's card readers and our new OWL cards don't just get along. Updates Alexandra Gallo took a trip through the turnstile to get the latest.
The rumors that students will be able to use diamond dollars at SEPTA are exactly that. As of now, the SEPTA-Temple relationship is a no-go, which many students on campus feel is a big disappointment.
Because then I can just use my diamond dollars to pay for SEPTA. It'd be that much easier. You don't have to the hassle of waiting in line and getting tokens and everything.
Scott Brannon is the director of Diamond Dollars at Temple University. Last year, Temple proposed the idea for the Diamond Dollar cards to be compatible with the new SEPTA machines that riders use to enter the platform. Users would be able to just swipe their OWL cards and be on their way.
We discussed their new rollout of a system to be a contactless system and ours as well. That corresponded with our new OWL cards that were distributed about a year ago.
SEPTA, however, decided to go with different machines that are not compatible with the chip that the OWL card has. Because these particular OWL cards were brand new last year, it would be too expensive to change the chip inside.
So we have to basically govern what we need on campus versus the SEPTA technology.
There are many reasons students are using SEPTA.
To Center City, it's just a lot cheaper than taking the train.
I take SEPTA to like the stadiums, see the games a lot, almost every weekend.
With the convenient form of transportation comes a not-so-convenient way of paying. SEPTA is still using tokens for the subway, trolley, and bus lines.
Just make it easier, and you wouldn't have to go and take out cash before you get on the subway, which is always a pain.
Now, Temple Update tried reaching out to SEPTA, but we haven't yet heard back. Scott Brennan tells us, though, that he hopes the SEPTA-Temple relationship can try again in the future. Reporting for Temple Update, I'm Alexandra Gallo.
The use of OWL cards as a form of SEPTA payment was part of the main platform for the election of the Temple Student Government Party named Temple United. Student body president Darren Bartholomew said it could be another 4 years before we see a full integration of OWL cards.
The new OWL cards, which I believe come out in 4 years, obviously doesn't help anyone now, but they will be able to use the new payment technology system.
He also says Temple United is only a few months into their term, and that is plenty of time to deliver on their other promises.
The Edberg-Olson football complex is undergoing changes with the installation of solar panels. Updates Rich Fogel has the latest progress in Temple's continuing initiative for more sustainability and renewable energy on campus.
Temple University teamed up with Community Energy Incorporation and has agreed to begin a solar panel project on the roof of Edberg-Olson Hall on 10th and Diamond Streets starting this week.
Temple's been talking to a bunch of companies about it for a long time, and it kind of came back up, I guess, within the last year, and we ended up winning the project, which is awesome. Like I said, we financed a lot of the capital with residential local customers, and then Temple stood up as the leader to host the project.
Local residents switched their electric bills over to green energy. Once this happens, CEI is able to develop solar projects locally. This 63-kilowatt solar system is the latest effort from the university to add more renewable energy to campus.
This is the 5th largest solar project in Pennsylvania, and it's really getting done without state incentives, which is exciting. That solar has reached a point where you can get it done just based on voluntary demand, and I think that sends a strong signal from Temple as a clean energy leader.
I think Temple, being the state school in Philadelphia, sometimes gets a little bit of a bad rep from some other schools that maybe have a little more prestige, and it's cool to see that Temple is kind of distinguishing themselves with a commitment to renewables.
When this project is completed in early December on this roof, it will be the largest solar panel project of any kind for a Philadelphia college or university.
The biggest thing, obviously, is now they'll be generating some electricity through solar power, which is huge for our local environment and local air quality, especially in Philadelphia.
We'll continue to keep you updated on the process of the solar panels on Edberg-Olson Hall. For Temple Update, I'm Rich Fogel.
Temple Sustainability Week has inspired some art students to think outside the box. The Alternative and Found Materials art exhibit inside the Tyler School of Art showcased pieces made with recycled and industrial products. The exhibit was hosted by the Office of Sustainability and the Fibers Department. One student project was made from 8,000 cigarette butts, while another artist made use of materials like glass bottles and traffic cones for their sustainable design. Giveaways and going green went hand in hand at Campus Sustainability Week's Green Fair. Temple Update's Serabo recycled her way to the event.
All week, students have been learning about campus sustainability and going green. The highlight of the week was the Green Fair, where students collected information about farming, biking, energy, and everything in between. Students even watched demonstrations from the Philadelphia Water Department.
It's going to flow downhill to the lowest point, and that lowest point here in this area is the rivers.
Office of Sustainability Director Kathleen Grady says, like students, Temple is making progress in becoming more sustainable.
We've been very aggressively working on an energy conservation campaign, and from a waste and recycling perspective, we finally rolled out recycling plastics 1 through 7, so now students can recycle essentially pretty much all types of plastic.
These changes come at a time when sustainability is a growing concern among students.
Sustainability is important because we only have one Earth and we need to take care of it.
Massive change starts with one person, so it's important for every person to realize that sustainability is something they should be paying attention to.
The fair exposed students to a variety of ways to get involved with sustainability.
It's really not just about recycling, it's a really big comprehensive approach, and I think that's what this event does really well.
Thanks to campus sustainability programs, students are on their way to going green and making Temple more sustainable. Reporting for Temple Update, I'm Serabo.
Time Magazine's Director of Photography, Kira Pollock, talked to journalism students this week. Pollock oversees photography for Time Magazine as well as Time.com. She talked to students about Red Border Films, a new documentary series that is launching through Time Magazine. After the session, she answered student questions about standing out and putting their own twist on everything.
Because there are a lot of people that are doing this, and you want to be unique and you want to have your own stamp on it. And that's how people find you, when the work is good and solid and it transcends.
The first film from Red Border Films will be released on Veterans Day. Coming up, we will have all the spooky details on Halloween at Temple and how you can stay safe while celebrating around campus.
And Temple took to the streets on their bike in costume and rode all the way to a Philadelphia cemetery.
Plus, families young and old were on the hunt for the Great Pumpkin. We'll have all the details.
Simone Cuccurullo, coming up at the sports desk, I'll have the hoedown from the football team's trip to the South. Yeehaw! And I'm Stephanie Craig. Will spooky clouds be hovering over your Halloween weekend? I'll let you know. Temple Update. We'll be right back.
As students get ready to celebrate Halloween tonight, Campus Safety Services is offering some tips and tricks to stay safe. Special Services Coordinator Donna Gray says it is important to wear costumes that can be seen in the dark. She reminds students to be mindful of what they're drinking and to not let costume decision choices influence decision making. She recommends students always use the buddy system and remember to trust your instincts. And it is okay to just leave if you find yourself in an uncomfortable situation. Have the number for the police on hand, and finally, make sure you know the person under the costume before you let them in your house.
Families took to the apple trees in Linvilla orchards to celebrate the changing seasons. The popular Halloween destination gave families the chance to breathe in the fresh fall air. The orchard has train rides, pumpkin picking, and hay rides.
There were a lot of people here. The lines are probably average, not too long. I'm going home in the pumpkin today.
Linvilla Orchard's Halloween festivities may be coming to an end, but the orchard will stay open throughout the year to provide fun for every season. Ghosts and skeletons went mobile this year on a Halloween fun ride. Taggart Hulk pedaled his way to Laurel Hill Cemetery to take a look at the riding dead.
The Temple community gathered around the bell tower in a collaborative event including Bike Temple and the Office of Sustainability. The 4th annual Halloween Fun Ride concluded Sustainability Week and provided a fun opportunity for students to venture outside the main campus and explore new parts of the city.
This is a great way to get out and realize that you can engage the city so easily on a bicycle.
Students and faculty gathered at the bell tower, displaying their traditional and not so traditional costumes. The weather played a key role in the event's successful turnout.
Some of my best parties have always been Halloween parties. And on a day like this, great holiday, how can you not get into it?
The ride provides an active and exciting atmosphere for its participants. For some of the bikers, this event is a highlight of the fall season.
I love it. It's probably one of my favorite festivities of the school year.
Yeah, it's really fun because you get to ride through the city and everyone's just looking at you like, who are all those people dressed up making a lot of noise?
Riders said farewell to the bell tower as they embarked on their 5-mile journey through North Philadelphia, heading off to the Laurel Hill Cemetery. We're here now waiting at Laurel Hill Cemetery as Temple University students, faculty, and the surrounding community make their 5-mile trek from the Temple Bell Tower. As they entered the cemetery, the costumed bikers demonstrated their enthusiasm after enjoying an hour-long ride. Reporting for Temple Update, I'm Taggart Hauk.
Coming up, I believe we have lost yet again. Simone Cuccurullo is at the sports desk with the highlights.
And will the weather stay cool for your Halloween festivities? We'll tell you all about it in the 5-day forecast.
Temple Update will be right back.
Good morning, Temple fans. We've been waiting for you all week right here at the sports desk. I'm Simone Cuccurullo, and as always, I have the latest in OWL, your Temple athletics. Now, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but let's kick things off with a heartbreaker in Dallas, Texas. It was an afternoon of back and forth action as the football team made their way to Ford Stadium to face the SMU Mustangs. The Owls started strong, jumping out to a 28-7 lead in the second quarter. P.J. Walker threw for 168 yards in the first half, including this 18-yard pass that John Christopher caught with one hand. Walker also completed this deep ball to Alderman to put the Owls up by 3 touchdowns. But that all changed at halftime. The Mustangs came back with a vengeance as they moved the ball 78 yards down the field for a touchdown during their first possession of the third quarter. From then on out, the teams were neck and neck, but in the end, SMU came out on top with a final score of 59-49. Now we head down to Central Florida, where the men's soccer team took on the UCF Knights. Both teams were scoreless in the first half with only 7 total shots combined. 4 minutes into the second half, Vaughn Spurrier scored on an unassisted goal to give the Owls a 1-0 lead. Chaz Wilson also tacked on a point for Temple, but the Knights responded with 2 goals of their own. Neither team could score in overtime, and the Owls took home their 4th tie of the season. Now it was a day of success at Giese Field as Temple Field Hockey honored their 3 seniors on Senior Day. Lauren Hunt, Molly Doyle, and Mandy Shear ended their home careers with a 5-1 win over Georgetown. It was only fitting that senior Lauren Hunt had the first goal versus the Hoyas. Amber Yutz brought her stellar offensive performance as usual, notching the 2nd and 3rd goals for the Owls. Kayla Lockman and Katie Foran secured the victory by each adding a goal within 1 minute of each other in the last 10 minutes of the game. The Lady Owls advanced to a 14-4 record and will face Connecticut this Saturday. And now that the weather is getting colder, that only means one thing: winter sports are on the way. The men's basketball team is continuing to prepare for their season opener on November 9th against Penn. Dunphy and Company opened the doors to their practice facility to get the media a little taste of what this year is all about. The Owls have a competitive schedule for their first season in the American Athletic Conference. Strong leadership from Will Cummings, Anthony Lee, and Dalton Pepper is crucial to the team's success. We caught up with Coach Dunphy after practice to find out how the boys are gelling so far.
We're a good group together. I think they like each other. I think they care for each other. I think they respect each other. So it's going to really be an interesting year with a lot of unanswered questions, and hopefully we'll grow as the year goes on.
To get your tickets, visit owlstix.com. The women's volleyball team will be looking to take down AAC opponent Louisville tomorrow night at home. Be sure to head down to Pearson McGonigal and support the Owls. But if you can't catch the action, be sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at @TU_SportsDesk. I'm Simone Cuccurullo. Back to you guys in the studio.
Up next, Stephanie Craig will tell you what to expect for a night of tricks and treats with your 5-day weather forecast.
And hop in your DeLorean, we're going back to the 80s for one of Temple Update's earliest broadcasts.
We'll be right back. Today is October 31st, also known as the Day of the Dead.
Or Halloween. I really hope that the weather will hold out so we can go trick-or-treating this weekend.
Yeah, well, we can start now. Let's head over to Stephanie Craig with your Halloween forecast. Trick or treat, Steph.
Trick or treat, Stetson and Karina. Happy Halloween. Later on, I will be supporting my Minnie Mouse ears, but let's take a look at the current condition.
It's currently 55 degrees and cloudy outside today, and because it's Halloween, everyone wants to dress up, so let's take a look at Sally the sorority sister to see how she dressed for class. She's supporting her witch costume, and she looks adorable. So make sure to wear long sleeves today, as it will be a bit chilly. Although we will see a high of 71, winds will be reaching up to 12 miles per hour. There's also a 20% chance of rain. Let's take a look at your Halloween forecast. Tonight we will see some scattered showers with a low of 62, so just keep that in mind when heading out for trick-or-treat or to a party. Friday we will see more rain with a high of 72 and a low of 50. Winds will reach up to 19 miles an hour. And although the Owls will be away at Rutgers this weekend, it's not too far. So for those of you heading to New Jersey, let's take a look at your game day forecast. The clouds will be taking over the sky with temperatures reaching the low 60s by kickoff. Fourth quarter, we will see temperatures drop into the mid-50s. Now let's head into your weekend weather watch. Saturday, the rain will clear, leaving us with partly cloudy skies and a high of 64. Closing out the weekend, Sunday will be mostly sunny with a high of 53. The school week will start out on Monday with mostly sunny skies with a high near 50. Now it's that time of year where we see a dip in temperatures, but definitely doesn't look too bad. For all the latest updates, make sure to follow us on Twitter at @TU_weatherwatch. Now, Karina, what are you dressing up as this year?
Well, since I'm tired all the time, I think I'm just going to be a bedhead, but thanks, Steph. The South Carolina Aquarium had a very out-of-the-ordinary pumpkin carving contest. Divers went into an aquarium tank where they were given tools to carve sea-themed pumpkins. The 5 volunteers were watched by an audience who voted on the winner by cheering. This year's winner was an octopus pumpkin.
Beware of the zombie attack. The 3rd annual Zombie Walk in Bangor, Maine had participants dressing up like zombies and walking through downtown. A group of zombies also did a live, no pun intended, flash mob dance. The Zombie Walk raised money for 2 charities, the NF Northeast and the Sarcoma Alliance.
Did you know that in 1988, the president of the university was Peter J. Leocoris, and the cost of tuition was around $3,800?
A lot of things sure have changed, but one thing has stayed the same: Temple Update.
And to honor our 25 years of history, we're taking you back to October 27th, 1988, with a special look at one of Temple Update's earliest shows.
Hello and welcome to Temple Update. I'm Victoria Lim.
And I'm Lynn Giroux. Temple held a Safety Awareness Day on all of its campuses this week.
Dare Week has come and gone at Temple, but it's a way of thinking organizers hope will become year-round.
Promoting alternative activities, alternative ways to enjoy life here at Temple University.
As part of the week-long educational program, peer counselors set up shop in the Student Activity Center.
The Temple basketball team kicks off the regular season in just over a month, and don't expect the team to match the #1 ranking that they had last season.
While Temple goes into this season with uncertainty, there is still much to look forward to. A new arena will be under construction shortly, and the future looks like it can soar higher than an owl can fly.
We leave you now with the scene at the Night Owl Wednesday night when the group Mail Order performed as part of the Wednesday Night Jazz series.
Well, I definitely have my costume ready. I think I'm going to be a cat tonight. What about you, Stetson?
I am being a devil right now, so.
Look dashing. Look great.
And that's all for this edition of Temple Update. For more news and information, check us out on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter.
And you can always watch us live at 10 o'clock online or on TUTV, Comcast Channel 50, and Verizon Fios Channel 45. For Stetson Miller and the rest of the Update team, I'm Karina Cheung. Have a great day and happy Halloween.